That's it. And we are a wild.
So talk about that. Talk about the evolution of that system over the past 100 years.
Yeah.
Where it started, how it was when it started versus where
yeah. So it's been this.
Like you look at it now.
Yes.
And you share a lot. If you don't follow Matt on social media, please do, because he shares a lot of this information. So talk about that evolution.
So you've got this slow burn now that has taken place, right? Because what happens is you've got now that we're 100 years in.
Yeah.
Everybody that's alive has, 92% have gone through that same kind of system, whether it was public or private. They went through this. It doesn't matter. It's the same system.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody has gone through that, other than the weird people who stepped outside of it, right? And which again, they're the alternative herbal, they're the alternatives over here, these home educators, right? They're the alternatives. They're the weirdos. They're the whatever. So you got to villainize that. You got to make sure you villainize that.
What do they say? What about your kids' social?
Jesus Christ.
Like, what is your kids? Homeschool kids are weird.
Yeah, for sure. Right? Yeah, because there was no weird. Did you see any weird kids in public school? Because that must, right? Because that must have fixed everything. People are like, well, if my kids homeschool, won't they be weird? If you're weird, probably, yeah. If you're a weirdo, you probably have weird kids. Whether they're public school, private school, homeschool, it doesn't matter. That's part of it.
Here's a fucking news flash. There's nothing wrong with weird kids.
And whatever. Who defines weird?
Yeah.
Right? Weird and a good human who's serving other people and getting after it.
Yeah.
Or weird piece of shit falls in line, gets their straight A's, but is a total douchebag, and is stressed to the max and anxious and on, all kinds of medication. It's a ridiculous thing. So this is slow burn, man, because what happens is now you got all these people that go through it. They're being told that they're being conditioned. They go, this is what's going to ultimately get you the job. This is what's ultimately going to lead to success, because you say the right things that sound right. Well, education is what is going to lead to success. That's true. Yeah. Schooling is not education, though. That's the problem. Schooling's not the same thing, but people have those things conflated. So they go, yeah, of course.
Schooling is not education.
It's not the same thing. Schooling is a religion. This is a religion for you to follow. This is not human development. It is your religion to follow. So now that we have this religion to follow, and you've been told, you ever tried to get anybody out of a cult?
Because it's a belief pattern.
It's a belief system.
Yeah.
Right? And so even if you took somebody out of a cult, if you and I went and if we found out there's a cult around the corner going on, and they're indoctrinating these young people, and they're creating all these slaves, and you and I we get a wild hair up our ass, and we're like, all right, we're gonna go fucking save one. We're gonna go pull them out, right? And we go pull them out, and they're like, thank you, like you saved me, like I'm out of this cult. Okay, but they've grown up 12, 13 years in this cult. We can go take them and put them in the environments of the lives that you and I lead. They're still gonna want to do cult shit.
Yeah,
because they don't know any different.
Yeah,
right? Emotionally, logically, we're going to go, look, this is how the world actually works. And they're going to go, yeah, but they're programmed. And they're still going to want that. So now you've got all these people who've been programmed through this religion. And even if they
safe, right?
Because it's safe and everybody else does it. So I can turn around and put my own kids in it too, because I have a religious belief that's here. I'm going to put them in here. And because everybody else around me conforms in that way too, I don't have to deal with all of the issues that come up socially from my parents who went to school and say they turned out fine, or from, this employer over here, or from my friends down the street. I want to prove that I'm a good parent too. And the only way I can do that is get the Harvard bumper sticker to put on my car so I can show everybody else that I did the right thing as a parent. And that's where we're stuck.
So was this, now you're talking about where the system came from, which was where again?
Prussian, Germany.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Homeschool's illegal there, by the way, still.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that says something, doesn't it?
Yep.
So, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, was this a multi-generational plan to get us to where we are at today, or was it a natural evolution of that system and the people in charge of that system?
Yeah. It's a little bit of both from my understanding. So you've got the Rockefellers who's, front loading this whole thing, right? With a little bit of
he was thinking
he was thinking generations ahead. That's generations ahead. And I've got this, these workers, and I'm going to eliminate competition. And
the proof of that. Here's the simple proof, not to skip to a finance thing, but the proof of him thinking about multi-generations is watch how he did his finances.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that he organized, where he put his money, how he formed his trust. Like,
yeah.
Well,
that's another thing. I mean,
he was
that alone
100% planning a multi-generational phase line.
That alone. So you start talking about the whole Jekyll Island thing. That alone is something you never touch in schools.
Right.
You don't talk about, first of all, you don't talk about taxes, period. Second of all, you don't talk about the fact that guys like Rockefeller actually created a separate tax system. There's 2 tax systems in this country. Both are legal. One's for the informed, the other's for everybody else.
Yes.
Almost everybody plays this 1040 system. There is a 1041 system that's completely legal.
We've been switching systems.
Hell yes.
Because it's education.
That's part of it.
As soon as you get educated, you get what is the word, like financial literacy, essentially.
Yep.
You're like, wait a minute.
Completely. Yeah. Why was I never taught how to play this game?
Yeah.
Right. So yes, he was part of putting that in place as well.
So okay.
So he's got that whole thing that he's front loading there. So there's the part of that is that natural evolution. But as you're putting all these people in place in these, these superintendent roles in these government positions, and a lot of these guys early on got their PhDs from these same universities that started with the same whole Prussian view of like, let's get everything back towards state control. What you end up happening is you have these teachers unions that by about the 1950s are essentially taken over by people who very much believe the state should be raising your children. It's a cradle to the grave plan is the name of it.
What was the jump there? Like, what was the reasoning behind that?
And that I don't know. I read God. I don't know if Gatto even dives into that at all. And I'm sure there's resources on it. I can't speak intelligently to it. It's just right about the 50s. That's when the unions got taken over by, what people would look at it and go, okay, well, that's more of a socialist or communist sort of point of view, but it's the state needs to take over.